So you're saving for retirement. You're probably thinking your biggest expenses down the road will be things like travel or maybe healthcare. But what if your single largest expense is actually the IRS? We're going to talk about a hidden tax trap that could cost you millions, and more importantly, how you can avoid it.
You know, you're doing everything right. You're putting money away, you're investing, you're building that nest egg for the future you've been dreaming about. But there's a catch, a big one, that so many people just don't see coming until it's way too late.
That tax deduction you get today on your retirement contributions, yeah, that feels pretty good, doesn't it? But that little break right now could be hiding a much, much bigger problem later on, a massive tax bill that's just waiting for you in retirement. To really see how this all plays out in the real world, let's walk through a story. This is a look at what happens to a successful doctor who's following all the standard financial advice.
Okay, so on the surface, this looks like the absolute picture of financial responsibility. This doctor is a high earner, and they're consistently saving a huge chunk of their income in a typical retirement plan, like a 401k or a profit-sharing plan. So after just 10 years of saving like this, they've managed to put away $2.5 million. I mean, that is an incredible achievement. That's the foundation of what should be a really, really comfortable retirement. And with a little help from market growth, that $2.5 million has ballooned into a staggering $10 million nest egg. This is the dream, right? This is the goal that everyone is working towards.
But here's the thing. This is where the story takes a pretty sharp turn. Because, you see, accumulating all that money is really only half the battle. The other half is figuring out how to get it out so you can actually use it. And this is the hidden trap. Because every single dollar that gets pulled out of that $10 million account is taxable. Over the course of their retirement, this doctor could end up paying over $4 million in taxes. Think about that. That's 40% of their hard-earned nest egg just gone.
We call this the seed versus the tree problem. See, the government gives you a tiny tax break for planting the seed. That's your initial $2.5 million contribution. But in return, they get to tax the entire tree, the full $10 million it grew into. They're playing the long game, and believe me, it pays off big time for them.
Okay, that's a pretty sobering thought, I know. But that is not the end of the story. Thankfully, there is another way. There is a tax-smart alternative.
And look, this isn't about some shady loophole or trying to pull a fast one. It's a completely legal and really powerful strategy that basically flips the entire tax equation on its head, putting you back in control of your money.
The whole concept is actually beautifully simple. First, instead of a standard retirement account, you fund a private savings and protection plan with after-tax dollars. Second, that money grows, and it often comes with features that protect you from market downturns. And third, this is the best part. When you retire, you can access every single penny, including all that growth, 100% tax-free.
So how does this tax-smart approach really stack up against the traditional way when we look at our doctor's situation? Well, the difference is it's absolutely astounding. The huge shift in thinking is this. Do you want to pay taxes now on the seed, or do you want to pay taxes later on the fully grown tree? The old, traditional way forces you to pay taxes on that much larger nest egg. The tax-smart way lets you handle a smaller, more predictable tax bill today, which then frees your entire retirement fund from future taxes. All right, let's get into the hard numbers here. On the left, with the traditional 401k, the doctor pulls out almost $500,000 a year, but after paying $172,000 in taxes, they're left with just $319,000 to actually live on. Now look at the tax-smart way. They get to keep the full $514,000. The annual tax bill is zero, a big fat zero. That bottom line is what really matters. It's the difference between paying over $4 million in taxes over a lifetime versus less than $1 million. The difference is just staggering.
This chart right here shows you exactly what that means for your actual lifestyle each and every year you're in retirement. We're talking about nearly $200,000 more in spendable after-tax income. I mean, just think for a second what that kind of difference could mean for your travel, for your family, for your peace of mind.
And ultimately, that's what this all comes down to. It's your money. You worked hard for it. You saved diligently. You invested wisely. You should be the one to enjoy the rewards, not your future tax bill.
Just understanding this concept is the very first step toward building a retirement that's truly secure. It's about shifting from just letting things happen to actively taking control of your financial destiny.
You know, there's a saying that really just hits the nail on the head here. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep.
A massive retirement account doesn't mean a whole lot if a huge chunk of it is already spoken for by the tax collector. So to wrap it all up, what does this strategy really do for you? It gives you the power to legally slash your future taxes, to grow your money with less risk, and, most importantly, to create a predictable, tax-free income stream that you can count on for life. It lets you keep more of what you've earned. So after seeing the huge potential differences can make, the next logical question is pretty simple. What could this mean for your specific situation? It's a simple, no-pressure way to explore a path that could lead to a tax-free retirement. So if you'd like to see how this could work for you, just click the link below and you can schedule a quick 10-minute strategy call. Thanks for your time.